Shalom. Kahalo Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives to do so. To the scattered, hopeful elect across the four corners of the earth, and those among the heathen nations that look like the heathen nations pursuant to Jeremiah 12 and 1, known as the speckled birds. So this is not a black thing. I am disciple of Parium, a follower of Great Millstone, coming to you with a lesson in truth and sincerity. So I want to start off in Job 14 and 4. This lesson is going to be titled "The Unclean Can't Be Made Clean." So it's kind of a twofold, going to dietary laws, but also how we're made clean as well, and who can make us clean. So first, going to Job 14 and 4, it says, "Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one." And I'm going to read this portion of a commentary in Gill's commentary from BibleHub.com. It says, "Who can make an unclean man a clean one? No, not one. A man cannot make himself clean by anything he can do, by his repentance and humiliation, by his good works, duties, and services." All right. But none can do this but Yahweh. And to this sense, some render the words, "Who can?" Is there one? There is. That is Yahweh. He can do it. And he only. Though men are exhorted to cleanse themselves, this does not suppose a power in them to do it. This is only designed to convince them of the necessity of being cleansed, and to awaken a concern for it. And such as are made sensible thereof will apply to Yahweh to purge them and make them clean, and create a clean heart within them. So what you're seeing below is hyssop, and what I thought to mind was Psalms 51 and 7, and this is King David speaking. And it says, "Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow." Okay. So, he's these are prayers that he's asking unto the Lord. All right, because he was a faithful servant unto Yahweh. And the thing is also, we cannot eat as a nation. We can't eat the same as other nations eat. We're still under these curses. And I want to get Deuteronomy 28 and 22. And there's a reason for these dietary laws. Okay. And verse 22 reads, "The Lord shall smite thee with consumption, and with a fever, and with inflammation, and with the extreme burning, and with a sword, and with pest, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish." All right, we were given, these curses, but at the same time, it goes into the inflammation. You got these diabetes and everything that our people are still eating today, because they think that you can just do what you want to do, and we can't eat the same as the other nations, because we're under the curse. Okay, so let's go to Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 12. It says, "There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death." All right. And again, you can't just do what you want to do. There's no free will. And we'll go to Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 8. "The wise in heart will receive commandments, but a prating fool shall fall." And, I actually want to get that word prating. It's Strong's H8193, and is Shapah, I believe. Let me make sure I get that correct. Yeah, Shapah. So the word Shapah is the word prating, and it's speech. Let's see. Let's go to the actual definition. So it looks like this is going to like kind of a babbling speech, vain words. Okay. So now let's go to Malachi 3 and 6, because the Lord, He doesn't change. Okay. It says, "For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed." All right. And you go into that word consumed, it goes to kalak, kala, so like it's Strong's H3615. I'll show you how to get to there. And when you go to the reverse, if you're on the phone, and you see it's kala, all right? And so basically, fainteth, destroyed, and ended, waste, all right? So be not consumed. So let's go to Matthew's 15. And we're going to read verse 7 through 9. It says, "Ye hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy of you," Isaiah, right? "Saying, These people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me." Verse 9, "But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men." Okay? And that's a prophecy. If you go to Isaiah 20, this is the precept to that. It's going to be Isaiah 29 and 13. "Wherefore the Lord saith forsomuch, as this people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but they have removed their heart far from me." My heart goes into mind or la'ab. All right, they're synonymous. "And their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men." That's why, you go into these wacky tacky Christians, the churches, they're like, "Oh, you can eat pork, you can eat all this stuff, as long as you bless your food." Now, come on. The Lord changes not. Okay? Let's see. Now, let's go to 1 John 3 and 4. We get this all the time, okay? We bring this out all the time. "Whoso committeth sin transgresses also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law." And who was the law originally given to? Israel, Yashar Allah, not everybody. Okay? Let's go to 1 John 5 and 3. "For this is the love of Yahweh." This is what is love, okay? This is a beautiful note card to take. If you're taking notes, write this down. "For this is the love of Yahweh, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous." To the best of our ability, okay? We know that we can't keep it in these chains of darkness, this flesh, this human bodies that we have perfectly, because it says if you break one commandment, you break all the commandments. Okay? But they're not hard to follow. They're not burdensome if you see it in the NLT on the right-hand side. Now let's go to the book of Acts, chapter 8, verse 30 and 31. Oh, way too far. Okay. It says, "And Philip ran thither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah." This is speaking of the Ethiopian eunuch. All right. "Read the prophet Isaiah and said, Understandest thou what thou readest? And he said, How can I, except some man should guide me? And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him." Okay. So, in this walk, in this truth, you have somebody who's gonna be over, who's gonna be teaching you. We have elders, we have apostles, we got priests, and we got the officers. Okay. And so, we learn these things of righteousness in the right ways. That's why we always say GMS has 100% truth when it comes to your salvation. Now, there will be things that will be revealed in the kingdom of heaven that will not be revealed in times of right now. But but we have what we need in these scriptures, okay, in these writings. So I'm going to switch, go into the Apocrypha. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 34. And verse 4. So it says, of an unclean thing, what can be cleansed? And from that thing which is false, what truth can come? Okay? So I want to go to now First Maccabees chapter 1. And verse 41 to 48. So, they always say, oh, the Gentiles are everybody else. No, these are Israelite foreigners. All right, you have to understand that there was a period of over 400 years in the Apocrypha. It goes into the Greek captivity, okay, the Hellenization period. All right. So we read, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. And where are you seeing that right now? World Economic Forum, right? They want to be, one big community. That's what they're trying to do, right? You got this Yuval Noah Harari. You got this other devil, Klaus Schwab. So this is speaking of right now in the book of Maccabees during the time of the Seleucid Empire. All right, you had the four generals, the four wicked roots that came up after Alexander. All right. So verse 42, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the King Antiochus at the time. And he was a great king of Asia. There was no such thing as Europe. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion. You see that? And sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifices and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. All right, so they made them to eat the way that they eat. That's why our people go off. Okay, verse 48. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation. Well, they'll say, well, there's no Gentiles in here. Okay, well, let's go to the book of Second Maccabees, chapter 6. I believe it's verse 9. I'll go up to verse 8. It says, moreover, there went out a decree to the neighboring cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy, who was another general from Alexander after he had passed away, against the Jews, that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices. I'm going to highlight this right here, verse 9. And whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death. That then might a man have seen the present miseries. Now you understand there's no difference between Jew or Gentile. They're the same people. Israelite foreigners. All right? This is who Paul was speaking to. You have to know the history to know the mystery. Okay. Galatians 6 and 9. Let's go back. And it reads, And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. All right. And yeah, that reaping is going to happen, through the angels, during that time, at the end of Jacob's trouble, Yahweh Shai is going to come through. He's going to reap. Okay. So we should faint not, and we do these things through faith, but we have works as well. Okay. And we do this to the end, so that we may be purged with hyssop. Okay. So I pray that this lesson was edifying. I want to say, Kwam Yasharallah, Shalom.